Welcome. Today we will discuss first variable frequency control of multiple synchronous motors. So, first we will draw the scheme. This is the delay circuit receiving the command frequency from an oscillator. Delay circuit means it is basically a first order filter, and with the delay it is feeding the giving the frequency for control of the inverter. Then this frequency f output from the delay circuit goes to the flux control block for V by F control. The characteristic is like this, and with that V by F control strategy, the V star command voltage is generated, which goes to the rectifier control circuit. That generates the firing delay angle alpha for the rectifier, which takes the AC input and gives the DC output for the voltage source inverter. This is the voltage source inverter, and which gets the current and DC voltage from the rectifier and getting the frequency command from the delay circuit. And we have the output of the inverter feeds multiple synchronous motors. Like this. So, these synchronous motors can be synchronous reluctance motors, or permanent magnet motors. This is the scheme. So, basically these in multiple synchronous motors are required to run in synchronism in fiber spinning mill, textile mill and paper mill, and they have to, so they use this scheme because accurate speed tracking is required, and that too also several motors have to run in synchronism. the load is less. So, synchronous reluctance motors or permanent magnet motors of smaller rating are used to run in synchronism, and they are controlled in this scheme. And here the delay circuit, which receives the frequency command from the oscillator, feeds the frequency, gives the delayed frequency signal to the voltage source inverter, so that the rotor speed is able to track the changes in the frequency. So, that true synchronous mode is the operation is achieved, and that also the voltage has to be controlled. So, that the V by F control strategy is, has to be is achieved. So, for speeds below the rated speed or below the base speed, the V by F ratio is maintained constant. So, that flux remains constant, and at very low speeds the V by F ratio is increased to maintain the flux constant, and above the rated speed or base speed the terminal voltage is maintained constant. That is as per V by F strategy. So, strategy is like this. Voltage versus frequency, frequency or speed. This is the base speed. So, above the base speed voltage is constant at the rated voltage, and below the base speed the V by F ratio is maintained constant to maintain the flux constant and maximum torque constant. Only at low speeds the V by F ratio is increased to maintain the flux constant. So, this is the scheme for true synchronous mode operation. The next one we will discuss is load commutated inverter fed synchronous motor drive. Load commutated inverter is abbreviated as LCI, but it is not line commutation, it is load commutation. And so, we will draw the scheme for self control of synchronous motors with load commutated inverter. We have the source side converter and also we have the load side converter. So, they are connected through a filter or DC link which feeds constant DC link current ID, and so this is the AC supply for this is the machine, synchronous machine fed from the load commutated inverter, and it is wound filled synchronous machine. The rotor gets separate DC supply. For true synchronous mode, for self synchronous mode operation, there is a shaft position encoder So, this is the shaft position encoder mounted on the motor shaft. The shaft position encoder gives the rotor angle information theta e to the delay circuit. Which also receives the delay command. And generates the firing pulses for the load commutated converter. For DC link current control, so there is we have a command value or desired value of the DC link current, and we feed the current here. DC link current is taken feedback and it goes to the control circuit. That gives the firing pulses to the source side converter. So, this is the scheme for self synchronous mode of operation of the load commutated inverter fed synchronous motor. So, for motoring operation, source side converter acts as rectifier, AC to DC rectifier. That means its firing angle alpha s for the source side converter is between 0 to 90 degree, and the load side converter acts as inverter. That means its firing angle, that is alpha L for the load side converter, is between 90 degree to 180 degree. So, the rectifies the AC supply and feeds the DC current ID to the load side converter, and load side converter which is inverter makes it AC and feeds to the synchronous motor at variable frequency. And here there is a shaft position encoder and delay circuit, and which for the true self synchronous mode of operation of the load side converter. So, with this the power flow for motoring operation, power flow is from the AC supply to the motor via the rectifier and inverter. And when the machine, synchronous machine has to be braked regeneratively, generator operation or regenerative braking, so then in that case load side converter acts as rectifier and source side converter acts as inverter. So, direction of power flow reverses from the machine to the AC supply. So, in that case the load side converter acts as rectifier and firing angle between 0 to 90 degree rectifier, and source side converter operates as inverter with firing angle between 90 degree to 180 degree. So, power flow is from synchronous machine to the AC supply for generator operation. Then another point is regarding why load commutation, in the name is load commutated inverter. So, it is the commute in load side converter, the commutation of the thyristors are achieved by the load EMF, that is synchronous motor EMF. So, when synchronous motor operates at leading power factor, in that case the induced EMF of the stator winding commutates the thyristors of the load side inverter in the same way as line side, as a line rectifier, line commutator rectifier is thyristors are commutated by the line voltage. So, hence the name is load commutation, because load voltage is used to commutate the thyristor. This is a load side converter. And as far as this figure is concerned, this side is DC commutatorless motor. So, for this phasor diagram, for the LCI fed synchronous motor drive, so this you take the vertical axis is the axis for VF, that means the field voltage, or we also can write it is the field induced EMF E, the field induced EMF E. VF is the induced voltage of the field winding. So, field is rotating at synchronous speed. So, this is the E phasor location or VF phasor location, same induced EMF phasor. So, with that the horizontal axis is the field flux axis, so this is the field flux phasor psi f, which is of constant magnitude, but rotates at synchronous speed. Hence, it is its space position is shown as a space phasor psi f, and we have psi a, the armature stator reaction MMF, that is stator current I s into stator self inductance L s is psi a. So, phasor sum of psi f and psi a is the stator MMF, stator flux linkage psi s, and the stator voltage V s is at 90 degree with psi s, because stator resistance is neglected. So, this is the voltage phasor V s, stator applied voltage V s, which is 90 degree leading to the stator flux linkage psi s, when the stator resistance is neglected. V s is d psi s by dt, hence psi s lags 90 degree behind V s. And for the stator current, I s is parallel to psi s, because psi stator reaction flux linkage is I s into L s, it is parallel to psi a, and it is at angle phi leading the stator voltage V s, because leading power factor for motoring operation, for load commutation it is required. So, I s leads V s by angle phi, phi is the fundamental current power angle with respect to the stator voltage V s. And angle between V f and psi f is also 90 degree. So, that and angle between V s and V f is the load angle or torque angle delta, that is angle between E and induced EMF E and Vs is the load angle delta. So, that the angle between psi A and psi S, this angle is, you see, pi by 2 plus phi, because psi S and psi A angle is pi by 2 plus phi. So, angle between psi A and psi S is also pi by 2 plus phi, and this angle between psi S and psi F is also torque angle delta. So, that this angle phi dash, as I have indicated, is pi by 2 plus phi plus delta, and this angle alpha, which I have indicated, angle alpha is pi minus phi dash, that is pi minus phi dash is pi by 2 plus phi plus delta. So, it is pi by 2 minus phi plus delta, like this. So, as I have already explained, the psi F plus psi A is psi S. Psi S phasor, which is rotating at synchronous speed, is joint action of psi F, which is rotating at synchronous speed, constant magnitude, and psi A stator reaction MMF, that is IS into LS, which is in phase with IS. Psi F is 90 degree lagging behind Vf E, 90 degree behind E, and psi S is lagging 90 degree behind Vs when the stator resistance is neglected. So, with that, the angle alpha is the, as indicated here, pi by 2 pi minus phi dash, and this alpha is the delay angle of the inverter. Alpha is the delay angle of load commutator inverter. So, magnitude of the stator current IS is controlled by the front end rectifier, and its phase location is controlled by the firing delay angle alpha, that is pi minus phi dash. So, that the resultant stator flux linkage psi S induces the stator voltage Vs, Vs leads psi S by 90 degree, and Vs lags at angle lags by angle phi with respect to Is, and delta is the torque angle or load and power angle. Delta is the torque angle or power angle. Next, we will draw the phasor diagram for regenerative braking at unity power factor. This is the stator voltage Vs, and opposite to it is the stator current Is. Phase angle is 180 degree. For generator, the current is opposite to the voltage, unlike motor, which is in same phase as voltage for unity power factor. So, for unity power factor of generator, Is is 180 degree opposite to Vs, and like previous case, we take the voltage Vf or the voltage E, induced voltage E, which is at angle delta with load angle delta with Vs, and flux linkage psi F is lagging 90 degree behind the Vf, and flux linkage psi S lags 90 degree behind Vs. This is psi S, and so flux linkage psi f for the field flux which is rotating at synchronous speed lags 90 degree behind V f, and stator reaction flux, armature reaction flux psi A which is I s into L s is in same phase with the stator current, in the same direction as the stator current, and stator flux linkage psi s phasor is psi f phasor plus psi A phasor, and the psi s lags 90 degree behind V s, as you can see here. So, that this angle between psi f and psi A is also the load angle delta, and the angle phi dash, this is the angle phi dash, that is 3 pi by 2 minus delta, as you can see 3 pi by 2. This angle is pi and this angle is pi by 2 minus delta. So, that it is 3 pi by 2 minus delta phi dash, and alpha is this angle is the firing delay angle alpha of the inverter alpha. So, alpha is pi by 2 minus delta. So, alpha is the firing delay angle of the inverter which controls the phase position of the stator current I s, and magnitude of the stator current is controlled from the line side converter. So, this is the phasor diagram for the regenerative braking operation. So, V s and I s have to be in the opposite direction, and commutation in the load side converter which operates as a generator, operates as rectifier in generating mode of the machine. The commutation of the diode rectifier occurs by the induced EMF of the synchronous machine. So, it is load commutation, and because synchronous machine we consider as a load even if it is operating as generator. So, name is load commutation. So, commutation of the load side converter, that is the diode rectifier that operates like diode rectifier is achieved by the counter EMF of the synchronous machine, and the power flows from the synchronous machine to the AC supply, and the role is reversed. Line side one is the rectifier and source side is the inverter. So, this is the operation for regenerative braking. Next, we will discuss self controlled synchronous motor drive with cycloconverter. So, let us draw the scheme first. So, we have a cycloconverter, that takes the constant frequency, constant voltage AC and feeds variable frequency, variable voltage AC to the synchronous motor, and synchronous motor operates in self synchronous mode. So, there is a shaft position encoder mounted on the rotor shaft, and that gives the angle information, theta e information, that is rotor position information, to the control circuit of the cycloconverter, which generates the pulses, firing pulses for the cycloconverter. So, there is a delay command for the control circuit. So, that rotor speed tracks the frequency in self synchronous mode. So, self synchronous drives, synchronous motor drives you have already discussed. So, here the cycloconverter output frequency is controlled from the control circuit through shaft position encoder and rotor. That means, cycloconverter output frequency tracks the rotor speed in just like self synchronous mode, the frequency tracks the rotor speed through shaft position encoder and control circuit. And the firing pulses of the cycloconverter ensure that also the firing pulses of the cycloconverter is obtained by comparison of the motor in terminal voltages or rotor position sensors. So, to ensure self synchronous mode. So, advantages of this scheme: like smooth low speed operation, and fast response also, 4 quadrant operation, fast dynamic response, 4 quadrant operation, all motoring and generating operations are achieved with cycloconverter. These are the advantages, and there are certain disadvantages. Those are, first of all, speed range is low, that means only low speed operation is achieved. Because in cycloconverter the output frequency can be maximum 2/3 of the supply frequency, because to restrict the harmonic content in the output. So, because frequency is only output frequency is 2/3, maximum frequency is 2/3 of the supply frequency, only speed control in the low speed range is obtained. And other problem is cycloconverter uses large number of thyristors. So, suitable for high power application, high power drive. And another point, synchronous motor without damper winding must be used, because damper winding reduces the inductance of the machine, and therefore, its ability to filter out the harmonics in the output voltage of the cycloconverter. Machine inductance when high, it reduces the harmonic content that is being fed to it, but in synchronous motor with damper winding, because the effective inductance is reduced. So, it cannot be, it is not suitable for filtering the harmonics of cycloconverter. So, it should be used without damper winding. So, when the machine is used in self control mode, so there is no function of damper winding. So, damper winding is not used, machine without damper winding is used for self controlled synchronous motor drive operating from cycloconverter, and it has good applications. Thanks for attention.